Hey, I'm Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for tuning in. If you're returning, thank you for returning. I really want to talk to everyone about taking the risk. Like, I know sometimes we have things on our heart and our head that we want to do, but we can come up with every reason why it's probably not a good idea to pursue it. And honestly, we just got to stop having a rebuttal for everything. Like, not saying that you shouldn't consider the outcomes of every decision that you make. You should always carefully consider what the consequences are. But we have to get out of our head and out of our own way. Too many times do we talk ourselves out of trying stuff. We talk ourselves out of doing stuff. We talk ourselves out of starting that business. You talk yourself out of going, reach out to this person on network. Like, it's old. We have to really get comfortable with being uncomfortable and actually take some risks. Like, staying in the safe zone, staying in your comfort zone will never allow you to grow, and it will never allow you to expand because you're in this box. And I know the box is comfortable. I know the box is all you know. I know sometimes we don't even realize it, but we limit ourselves based on the people around us too, because sometimes we may feel like other people aren't where we are, but we want to keep them with us, or we don't want people to judge us because we're more ambitious. You know, some people may feel like you made it to this point in your life, you shouldn't want more. Like, what else could you want? But what you need and what you desire and your aspirations in your lifetime has nothing to do with anyone else. And we have to stop carrying the things that's not ours to carry. We got to take some of that off. It's already too much that we have to carry for our own assignment. So trying to factor in how people are going to feel about your ambitions and your, career pursuits, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. And I feel like if God really wants somebody in your life, then they'll understand your ambition. They'll understand your desires. They won't make you feel guilty for wanting more, and I feel like when you do want more and you are ambitious, that drive does come from God. Like, I'm not saying that if you're just greedy and you feel like you want money to like floss on people, shine on people, stun on people, whatever. Like, I'm just saying that some of us want more, and that's okay. Like, we have to get level with what we want. Like, I feel like a lot of people live a life where they become miserable because they've tried to convince themselves that they were okay with things that they weren't. So if you feel like you're a person in a place and space that you're in right now, you're just not satisfied, that's okay. We always want to strive to be content and acknowledge our blessings where we are, because no matter where we are on the journey, there are always blessings. But it's okay to want more. It's okay to look around and be like, okay, I have this, I want this now, or I want to do this now, I want to make this change now, I want to dip into this field now. Like, God gives us that nudge. And a lot of times when God tells us to take a risk, we will talk to, like, we're going to try to talk God out of asking us to do the thing. Have you ever done that? Like, God has told you to do something and you've like come up with the reasons like, you know what, God, it's probably not time because, right? And realistically, God's timing is God's timing. Things cannot look great where you are. Like, you can look down from the top of the mountain and think like, look, if I jump, it's wraps. But honestly, if God told you to jump, it's not wraps. Like, God is going to literally have something waiting for you, something to catch you every time. The parachute is there, I promise. Like, we aren't going to get anywhere just staying comfortable. We have to get comfortable being uncomfortable, and that's just it. And I've held myself to this. Like, right now, I'm definitely making changes based on my desires and where I'm at mentally and my aspirations. I won't say everything that I'm doing right now, but I will say I am being obedient and listening to God and taking risks and stepping out of my comfort zone and open myself up to new things. And it's hard. I'm not going to lie, it's hard because I've come accustomed to the things that I've come accustomed to, like even in my career. So it's like I'm just getting comfortable, taking steps in other directions and trusting the process and trusting that God put me in the right spaces and places with the right people to have the perfect opportunities that'll suit me, But I won't know unless I take that step out. And I feel like God has, encouraged me to take that step out. And I feel like God is also like patting me on the back, like, see, it's okay. See, when you did the thing I told you to do, shit still worked out. Like, you didn't have to worry. You weren't still looking around. You weren't still scrounging for the next thing, And I know a lot of times, really, a lot of us end up practicing escapism because we're so dissatisfied with where we are. We have to just leave that alone. I'm not saying you can't go out and indulge in whatever your guilty pleasures are. But what I will say is life is about balance. And if you find yourself constantly doing things to prevent you from feeling the feelings, then you really have to pause and allow yourself the space to feel. There's no way to heal without feeling. And I know all the emotions don't feel good. I know we get sad. I know we get disappointed. I know we get stressed out. I know that person hurt you. I know you're heartbroken. I know that you may feel empty. Like you may really be battling with yourself in your head. And I'm not saying that you should wallow and stay there, but you also have to allow yourself the opportunity to feel now, because as I've said before, if you don't give yourself the space to feel and you just run life on autopilot, when it's time to feel that joy, that peace, that happiness, you won't be able to really relish in that, because you spent your time so long numbing, and that numbing, I'm not gonna say becomes permanent, because you can always turn it around, but the longer you do it, the harder it is to get back in that mode to feel, and we can't skip the process. I know we want to, and I know that's what makes us repeat all these cycles in our lives, because we'd rather go back to what we know. We'd rather do the things that we're familiar with. We'd rather be with the people that we're familiar with. We'd rather engage in activities that we know no longer serve us, but we're familiar with them and we're comfortable doing it, and the people around us are comfortable doing it, so we don't want to make that change. It's okay to make the change. It's okay to isolate. It's okay to lose people. It's okay to be misunderstood. You have to really spend that time with God, like really get level with God, because we waste our time trying to make sense of ourselves to people. People didn't create us. People are made differently. We all operate from our own perspectives. So no matter what, the people you love the most may never really understand you. And that's a heartbreaking reality. That's something I realized a long time ago. And it was hard for me to sit with. It definitely, every now and then, rubs me wrong. But it's a truth that I have accepted. So once you get honest with yourself about the fact that maybe no one will ever really understand you, at least to the capacity that you would like, it'll make you more comfortable and open to really leaving that space open for God, because God does understand you. God does want to spend time with you. God really wants us to have fellowship with him. God wants us to seek his face. And that's the best company. That's the best piece of advice. That's the best comfort. Like, God will give you everything that you need, but we also have to invite him into our spaces. We can't be so busy trying to be people of the world, as I always say, because we're people in the world, but we're not people of the world. And a lot of times we get that confused, and that's why we, spend time indulging in our vices, right? And we put no break to it. We put no limit to it for the sake that we just desire these things. And God wants everything to be about balance. Like, don't be gluttonous. Don't be ego driven. Like, y'all know the deadly sins. Really pay attention to what you're giving your energy to and what space you're functioning out of. Like, is God leading your decisions? Is God leading your thoughts? Are your thoughts being led by something or someone else? Really get level with yourself. Get level with God. Make time to pray, journal, and see where you are right now on your journey and what you want to do. And if there's something that you're thinking about pursuing, look up how to do it. Like, look up how to do it. Actually apply for the thing, actually get your ducks in a row to pursue the thing. You don't have to stay where you are. It's a choice to stay exactly where you are. And if you're not satisfied or not. This is going to find the right person. I'm sure this is going to find the right person. And if you're satisfied or not. If you've been feeling a pull on your spirit for a minute to do something different. That you have to make a big change. That you might have to lose some people. That people are going to misunderstand the choice you're about to make. But you have to do it. And you trust God. Once you consult with God about something and God gives you the okay, it does not matter what any other man says. And it does not matter how man understands it, right? And when I say man, I'm just talking about people in your life, period. Just know that God will always meet you halfway. And God did not lay the vision on your heart for you not to pursue it. God wants you to see it through. I want you to see it through. And I'm saying that as a person that is encouraging and pushing myself to do it. So think bigger, dream bigger, write it out, make your vision boards, talk about it to yourself, even if you don't feel comfortable speaking it to other people, because sometimes people project their limitations and fears onto you. Speak it to yourself, think it, eat it, breathe it. We're making things happen. Like, we got, how many more months we got? We're in July. We got 5 more months in this year, and I plan on us checking in and actually making major changes. No excuses. More life, more discipline. That is something I plan on getting tattooed. That is one of my mottos in life. More life, more discipline. Let's get into it. I hope that found the right person. And thank you guys for watching. If you stayed this long, I'll see you guys in the next video. Like, comment, and subscribe. My Instagram is MISSEONIITAAAA. And I'll put it in the description. And I'll also put my TikTok. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for staying this long. I'll see y'all in the next video.